It is the APC. Yes, so today we're looking at the fate of the APC in 2027, not just the APC or the fate of it alone, but also the opposition coalition. As you know, that El Rufai and all others have been putting in work trying to form a coalition that they believe will be able to unseat President Tinubu in 2027. El Rufai had said that the acceptance level of Tinubu is very low at the moment. Nigerians don't want him. And there are others who have said if he drops his vice president, Shetima, who ran and contested with him in the last election as a vice presidential candidate, that will spell doom for him and the party. Well, let's go over to my guest this morning, who is a former member of the National Assembly and an APC chieftain, Honorable Bernard Mikko. Sir, you're welcome. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Amy and River people.
All right, you're welcome. You look dapper, I must say.
Is it Bandak?
No, I say you look dapper, I must say. Like your outfit and how you're looking.
Okay. Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. Your party has been in the news for a lot of reasons. I'd like to start with the conference that was held that had the northern governors and stakeholders of the party. And we saw the drama that happened. It had to take security forces to come in, officials, to try and stabilize the situation. And then there was a picture of the vice president highlighting from a plane and being welcomed by functionaries and government functionaries and members of your party. And he refused to shake hands with your party chairman. Is all well in the APC?
Look, I think you must understand that a large political party in power, as the APC, must have their differences. It happened in PDP, it has happened elsewhere in NRC, even the United States, where we are copying and this thing. I think the issue of shaking of hands is an oversight, and the priority of whoever is shaking hands to either bring his hand or withdraw his hand. So these are personal issues that have nothing to do with policy. The party as a political party in government.
So that doesn't mean that there are issues between Shetima and the national chairman of your party. I mean, before now, people had openly said there are clearly divides in the APC as it concerns the position of the national chairman that's being questioned. And the APC has done a fantastic job with telling us that, well, that's not the case and there's nothing of such. So it will be surprising to anybody to think that a national chairman of the party would be there to welcome the vice president, and he just ignores him.
I don't think it ignores him, but I think that if there are personal differences between the vice president and the national chairman, I think these are not policies of either government for which the vice president represents, or the policy of the party to ignore anyone. The party is to bring everybody together, and if these are oversight issues, I think it can be settled. And I understand that they eventually shook hands that occasion, and everything has been over. We've not had any official statements by either the people on the vice president's side or the people on the chairman's side. I think these are just realm of speculation.
Okay.
So we should leave it at that.
Your colleague, Senator Ndume, says that the APC is taking in too much. And yes, a ship can be open to taking a lot. But if you take too much, the ship has the tendency of capsizing. And he says at the moment, the APC is taking in too much. He also described most of the people around the president are just hungry for money. What do you make of his position? Because he's a member of your party, and people are expecting that, well, he's being too critical of the government. And coming from one who is a member of the party, he's been seen in meetings with the opposition coalition. Is there any concerns that we should be having, or your party has, with regards to this situation?
Oh, well, if you
I mean the defections. When I say the situation, I mean the defections and people coming to the party. Shouldn't it be controlled?
Well, you see, the more the merrier. You see, political party is about people. And if you look at those in government today, they are less than 5% of the Nigerian population. So the votes will come from the electorate, which is largely the registered voters. So if the electorate or the ordinary people feel that, or even those in government feel that their interests can be better served in the APC, it has happened before where a lot of people defected to PDP when PDP. That is the structure of the politics in Nigeria. But let me tell you that anytime you have a southern president in power in office, a president coming from the south in office, you see most people from the other divide in the north would not want that president from the south to do a second term because they believe that they have the population, which people have argued that mostly destitute population, they have nothing to offer them to manufacture votes in the north because of their porous border. They believe that if a certain president is allowed a second term, that he cannot be due for a re-election again, that the reforms that the APC or even a ruling party at any time promised will be implemented and it will be detriment to the north. So they always try to cut short the tenure or the tenure of any president from the south to do a second term. And anytime you see a president from the north, you see certain party supporters or even Nigerians from the south supporting him to do his term complete. So these are the challenges we are having in trying to build a federal policy coalition.
Do you think this support is the case for President Tinubu and the APC at the moment? According to El-Rufai, the acceptance level is down about 91%. Do you think that in the next elections, Nigerians are solidly going to rally around the president if he eventually, we know that some of the party members have said he's going to go unopposed, but if he eventually gets the ticket and then contests in the election, do you think Nigerians really are happy and satisfied with his performance and will come out to vote for the APC with President Tinubu as candidate?
Well, I don't want to speculate about why.
No, not speculations. With what's on ground, at least. The president was a kingmaker himself. And most of the times he would do these statistics with the 1 year in office is enough. He said it under the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. 1 year in office is enough to look at whether this person can. And with those, he would measure and say, okay, we don't think this is that or that would work. Now it's his turn. And for some people, when a kingmaker becomes a king, it's a problem. So, as it is now, with what he's done in a year, is the APC confident that bringing him as their party candidate would get the votes from Nigerians? Looking at what has happened it's 2 years already.
Look, in going for a match, you have to bring your best 11. If Tinubu, then a member of the opposition, could bring out Buhari, who has tried several times, almost 3 times, and failed, and he could win from the opposition. And now he has brought forth himself and also won as an outsider. Why do you think he cannot win as an incumbent with more governors and more members to his side?
You said it yourself. The governors and more members on his side make up a very little, tiny percentage of the population. They are not the ones that are going to ensure that their votes give him the win. It's the majority of Nigerians. So, with the majority of Nigerians now, what is happening and what the country looks like now, do you think that they are happy with how the APC is going about this, led by the President Bola Tinubu?
Well, Nigeria as it is, looking at the promises which the APC, promised Nigerians when they were in opposition, that they were going to bring naira to 1 naira for dollar and all that. Yes, they've not been able to prove it. But who are the people who led us to this position? Are the same people doing the coalition today? I don't think what they are actually doing is a coalition. I think it's a cohabitation. It's not a coalition. Because a coalition is when you are of a different political party and team up with other political minor parties, to form government. But this one, they are the ones in government. El-Rufai was in government. Amechi was in government. The vice president, the former vice president, was vice president for 8 years. He was also part of APC. So what they are trying to do is trying to deceive Nigerians into believing that they have something different.
But the president, the president now, like you rightly had said before, was able to bring the president then, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, up to power. You said it. So that puts him in a position to be able to speak to the president. Is a member of the APC, was a national leader of the party even at the time. Beyond that, at the time of Goodluck Jonathan, he formed his own coalition, formed his own party, merged forces, and even said, it's similarly, just to what people are saying about his government now, was what he said about Goodluck Jonathan about, what they are forming now, we can't throw people away, people coming. It's just almost the same thing playing again, just people in different sides of the divide. So are we going to say what you're saying about this coalition now was what it was when President Tinubu at the time was putting together a force that he felt could solve Nigeria's problem? Note, he has identified these problems before now. He's campaigned with these problems against Goodluck Jonathan to ensure that President Buhari came in at the time. So how come now we would want to still blame people and say people brought us here? The past 8 years was the APC. So
yeah,
are we going to say that the APC brought the APC to where we are now?
That is why I'm saying, why the people talking, they shouldn't be the ones talking. Because they are talking now because the feeding bottle has been removed from their mouth. If the feeding bottle was still in their mouth, they will not be talking.
So it was the APC in the past 8 years that contributed to where we are now. Because all these men you say are talking now were members of the APC, including the president now. And they were all firmly in support of President Buhari. They all were working with him. On screen and off screen, behind the scenes and on the scene, they all were working and contributing their quota in the way that they can. So is it safe to say that the APC in 8 years under President Buhari brought us to where we are now, contributed rather, to where we are now, that the APC is also trying to work on?
I think what I should say is that Nigerians, they have their destiny. We saw this happen in Illinois University, in all the states. They flow to where they think their immediate needs can be solved, can be met. So I would advise Nigerians to give the President Tinubu a second chance, as they did to Buhari. Let him serve as his term. They truncated the tenure of Goodluck at the middle. He couldn't serve 2 terms. Now the same people have come again after nothing have served. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 14, subsection 3 says that, it talks of federal character. And even the same, section 73C of the PDP Constitution, talk of rotation between the North and that is why we found ourselves. Anytime there is power in the South, they want to truncate it. But anytime there is not, we allow it to serve full time. I want, no matter the reasons, the economy can be better. It's work in progress. No nation is completely perfect. Yes, APC have not met their campaign promises. The Nigerians too, they should stand their grounds. And during voting, they said they buy votes. Who are the sellers of the votes? If they don't sell their vote and they vote according to conscience, politicians would not have a leeway to do what they want.
So what about amending the electoral laws? Because the electoral laws, many think the way that they are positioned is basically to ensure that the elites are able to manipulate the system and tell you go to court. So is that not a major problem from Nigerians, especially those who participated in the last election and felt like they were cheated out of it? There are many who feel that way till now, and for that reason don't feel like they might want to come out to vote.
Well, I blame the system of having weak political structures. If you look at the PDP, that they are having a lot of crisis now, they have this issue of zoning and power rotation. But what did they do? When they zone power to the south, they will sell farms in the north. When they zone to the north, they sell farms in the south. So these are the things. I think we are evolving as a nation. We are trying to find our feet, but we've not gotten there. I think Tinubu is in the best position now, to salvage most of the problems. Yes, he might, as a member of the opposition then, in 2015, the work of a political party is to win elections. In spite of the issue of good governance becomes secondary, but the people should always assert themselves that this is what they want, not the rhetoric of politicians. If you look at the mob theory, unorganized few is even more effective than a mob, than the greater number of people. So I will say that People should look at the electorate should look at the people behind this so-called coalition, which are called cohabitation, and see the personalities. You cannot form one church and mess up in that church. You go and form another church again, and the same pastor or the same group of pastors and preachers. We cannot go anywhere with it. Let us go. Buhari was there 8 years, and even then, if you look at the north, where you have more military rulers than the other parts of the country, the poverty is growing. Political leadership does not bring the kind of desired results which we expect in any society.
All right, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the conversation. Should the APC be concerned about the opposition coalition and Nigerians come 2027? I will get your response to that question immediately after the break. Stay with us. The conversation continues here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. and listen to us live at the same time. Honorable Bernard, thank you for staying on the line for us. Welcome. All right, as it is, we don't have a lot of time, so we'll just cut to the chase and get your response. I'd asked the question whether the APC should be concerned about the opposition coalition and Nigerians in 2027.
I don't think this APC should be worried about because we don't have any very good opposition in Nigeria today beyond the.
What about Nigerians? Are you not worried about Nigerians deciding to say we are not voting for you?
Well, Nigerians have no choice because they vote for political parties. You don't have any independent candidate. See, that is the way we have found ourselves. Whom are they going to vote for? The parties are in shambles. When APC was in opposition, they have a clear line of programs and policies. These same people talking, they were in government. They have no ideas now to bring to the public. They have no manifesto. They just want to remain in the kitchen and on the dining table to the detriment of other Nigerians. So if they want to be, they should oppose based on ideas, on programs. What are their views on immigration? What are their views on foreign policy? What are their views on the economy? You know, but they don't have. So long as they don't have, and Tinubu, who was the leader of the opposition that brought Buhari, you know, they have a clear manifesto, and he felt that those in government then, President Buhari, couldn't implement to the letter what the manifesto of the APC was. That is why he has come up now and said, look, forget about the mistakes made by his predecessor. He is here to now put those things in perspective, correct them, and take Nigeria where we intend Nigeria to be.
Okay. All right. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002 are the numbers to call. Let's get your response to the question. Good morning, Nigeria Info. Okay, I think we lost both those calls. This message here says the opposition coalition against APC is a good thing because they are not doing well. For 10 years and above, their performance has been abysmal. Instead of fixing Nigeria, they're busy causing crisis in opposition. So it's necessary to form ADA. Aibatonye, that's from you. Ife Nchuku says, good morning to your guest. Your guest is just struggling to defend a bad product. The president has nothing to offer Nigerians. I'm in support of any coalition that will remove the government. Ifeanyi Chukwuwondo, that's in from you. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Semi.
Good morning to you. Your name, please.
My name is Chimadike. I'm calling from Mokuta.
All right.
From your question, I greet your guest. Yes, in Abuja, I am a strong fan of the president. I will advise the president and APC that they should be concerned about this, although the coalition has failed, because the coalition means a sinking down of some parties and bringing up a new one, like a merger. But this one, there was no party that has been sunk. They are bringing what they call ADA. But even as much as that, we should not leave any stone unturned, because this struggle isn't the struggle of physical strength. It's the struggle of men, people putting up their votes. So the APC should be concerned about whatever thing they are trying to do, because anyone you neglect can cause a very big trouble for you in the nearest future.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Okay, we lost that call as well. This message says here, good morning. They should be concerned about the opposition coalition because they have failed woefully. If ADA is yet to fulfill requirements for registration, they should double up to meet INEC requirements for the party to be registered. I have looked up and down. APC-led federal government has nothing to offer us. Thank God ability. That one is from you. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Mr. Nanjo, good morning.
Yeah, what's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Caption.
All right, go on.
I think if there's anything I cherish much is having opposition in a democratic setting. What your guest is saying is that opposition has put themselves in a shambles. I think the pattern, the trajectory that the ruling party, that's the party I belong to, that party I campaigned for when they came on board. But what I'm saying in that party now is what we planned for. That's the manifesto they raised in 2013 when the party was formed. And if there is anything they are doing, the ruling party is doing to make sure that there is no opposition in Nigeria, is very wrong. And I tell them that to go and work hard, because other is coming in a grand style. Those of the disgruntled members of APC will find succor to that party and challenge the status quo. So anybody that is telling them that that happened, it is just a medicine after death. Whatever INEC like, they will register that party and the politics will start. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, Mufasa on the line.
Okay, Mufasa, go on.
Morning to your guest. Andrew, see, I believe that you don't need a second chance to create a good first impression. That your guest has actually been struggling to defend what somebody has already called a bad product. The APC, you don't need anybody to tell you that they are performing shabbily. They have failed Nigerians. And for me, you cannot begin to, to start playing the North and South card. It's not going to work this time around. There's nothing like, the North and the South. What Nigerians need now is a good leader that will deliver the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. A leader that can guarantee Nigerian security. A leader that can guarantee Nigeria's social welfare and all that is needed for us to live a good and better life. So what we're having now is a complete far cry. So for me, your guest to just be worried and bothered that if they like, they should dismantle all opposition parties.
All right.
Nigerians are going to be the opposition against the APC 2027. Mark my words.
All right. Thank you very much. Honorable Bernard, my guest says Nigerians will be the ultimate opposition to the APC in the next election. As we wrap things up, what would you say in response to that?
Well, I agree that Nigerians are the ones to take their destiny into their hands. But these current people saying that they are opposing, they have no idea. They are the cause of the problems for which we are in today, which President Tinubu is trying to.
Amechi was seen as a fantastic minister, super minister under the Buhari administration. El-Rufai did fantastic as governor, did even fantastic as FCT minister at one time. So, how exactly?
You see, if you see prominent Nigerians, men of timber and carry in PDP jumping to the APC, you should know that there is something wrong. When you see people are jumping from the don't stop to go and enter. You see, if you say El-Rufai was doing well, look at what is happening in his own state. Look at what the man who stated him is saying. Look at even the PDP itself.
All right.
Look at they have a minister professing that professing to championing the cause of the election of President Tinubu. So what do you say about that? Look at the camping all over the country.
Okay, then.
You see, the way politics is structured, you cannot the electorate cannot present themselves.
All right.
For votes.
We have to wrap it up here. I know you have said the decamping everywhere, but you have also said that the decamping does not decide who wins. But let's leave it at that. Thank you very much, Honorable Bernard Mikko, for your time.
Thank you very much, and my best regards to the people of Rivers State.
All right, have a great morning. Well, that's my guest, former member, National House of Assembly, and a chieftain of the APC. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. This is where we draw the curtain. Hello Port Harcourt will follow after the commercials. Good morning.